in terms of my interaction with the erotic side of the city, I always like kind of romanticized it when I was growing up. I thought I had this skewed idea of what being a sexual person in New York should be like. It's like sleeping with a lot of women
And you're like,
and going
why
to
isn't it
big
happening
sex
for
parties,
me? Like, what's
right?
going on?
And like kind of
Yeah.
the Hollywoodization of the New York
Yeah.
sex scene is like not the way it is, and it's a little toxic.
You are now listening to Obsessed on PM Radio. I'm Penelope Dario. Enjoy the show. Hello, TJ Vance. Welcome to Obsessed.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm obsessed with you. That's how I'm doing. So happy you're
I'm
here.
obsessed with you. It's a joy to be here.
Please. For those of you who don't know, TJ is the masked person behind Hot Stuff Zine. It is a really like classic smut zine that takes after the like it's somewhere between like a punk rock like OG Xerox fanzine and like the pinup like 8x5 pinup zines of that were like, you know, of the pinup scenes from the 50s weren't very explicit, but it's like
yeah, no, this is like the toned up version of that. So I like to call it like BDSM Playboy.
Fully.
Like heavy comic book overtones as well.
Okay, yes, yeah, definitely. So did you actually have like a background in comics? Did you read a lot when you were growing up?
Yeah, comic books really influenced a lot of I'm a big nerd at heart, so anytime I can reference a big comic book story or something from my punk rock and heavy metal past, it just brings me so much joy.
Oh my god, totally.
And it's great because it gets to be accompanied with nudie pics as well.
Yeah, and it's a great format for porn too, especially like printed porn, because you can really lay out a story like in a comic book kind of way with the little squares and different actions going on. I love that. It's one of my favorite things that you've done with Hot Stuff.
Thank you so much.
It's so good. It's so good. So what made you really want to start Hot Stuff?
It actually really happened by accident, and I've found myself continuing to do it because of all those other reasons. It really happened because I went to this exhibit at the Brooklyn Museum that really inspired me. Oh, wow. It was a Mapplethorpe and Jimmy DeSana exhibit.
Yeah.
And in it was a ton of their old just correspondence porn and zines, so old copies of Vile and just black and white pics of like people having fun, doing fucked up shit. And at the time, like, I was getting into doing fucked up shit and always taking pictures of it. So I was like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to borrow from the past and just like channel that energy in a modern sense. And I never had made a zine before, but I was like, I can figure this out.
Totally.
And I figured it out.
Yeah. Do you feel like there was like a steep learning curve, or did you kind of just like wing it and have fun with it as you went?
It's really funny because the learning curve has come more towards the end. The first issue of Hot Stuff just came out like naturally, serendipitously. I did it all on like MS Paint and Canva and like learned how to collate pages and make zines, and it just happened.
Yeah, like the real DIY way. Yeah. I think that if you like have a vision and you just want to see it happen, you can put it together. It's not that hard.
For sure. But then once you see what else is out there and you start seeing aspirational ways to do it and you start to criticize yourself more and learn more, it takes longer to get to the place where you really are like happy with what's coming out, but it does raise the level of it. So now I'm doing it for all the reasons of, you know, community and togetherness and bringing the world together in a more sex positive way.
Yeah.
But at first it was just for fun and just because.
Do you feel that this was much more informed by community rather than like anything to do with the actual porn industry?
I'd say for sure. Yeah. At the time I was getting into like just lifestyle bondage, and it all started with like my journey with rope and rope bondage. Me and my girlfriend got into it around the same time and just met the New York City community. And I was always just like the guy at the party taking like disposable film photos. So when I started taking photos at these like sexy parties and crazy events, I was like, I can't put this on Instagram. What do I do with these?
Right.
And the natural progression was just like, okay, here's an outlet. I found the outlet.
Totally.
And then I was able to make it so.
That makes so much sense, because I feel like a big impetus for Petit Mort was the sense that like we're putting so much work into our images, and the industry is such a creative outlet for so many people. And more like a lot of the platforms where we share a lot of this work, and we're able to like disseminate it to our communities and to people that maybe don't live in the same areas as we do, like it's always vulnerable to just get taken down or shadow banned or whatever. And so I think that having a physical object where these things can live and outlive these platforms is so important, you know? And I think that like, yes, that has to do with the porn industry in a way, but it has more to do with just like how community and culture is like moving in the 21st century.
1000%. Yeah, it's something so powerful about having a printed physical thing in your hand, because it's the culmination of a lot of people's work.
Yeah.
It takes me months to put out a single issue of Hot Stuff, and editing people's writing. I never edit the photos, but getting the photos, setting the scenes, making personal connections, like traveling to meet people, and just like cultivating and maintaining these relationships that make it all happen. Takes a long time. So you'll see that culmination on Instagram for a day, and then it'll get taken down. But in print, you know, this will last literwe're forever. And there will be those archivists that will put them in the fireproof safe, and one day when we're reduced to rubble, there'll be a Hot Stuff zine to show people how we lived, you know? Yeah, that's the dream.
No, I love it. How do you think that engaging with print media affects the experience of pornography?
I think that it forces you to slow down and really digest in a more full way. Everything is so clickable and scrollable and just like little bite-sized. No matter how much time somebody puts into that photo that you scroll past on Instagram, you're just going to scroll past it. But having the physical thing in your hand forces you to slow down. And even if you're not reading a single word, you're flipping through, you're stopping to look, you're maybe having somebody look over your shoulder. It's a moment that you're ingesting it all at once. Somebody actually just said something really beautiful to me the other day. Somebody that I had slept with, I like took some photos, and I sent them to her, and she didn't respond at first, and I was like, what's with that? Is it okay? Do you want to see? And she's like, I'm just taking my time because the anticipation is the feeling that I like. And then once I actually open up that message and look at the pictures, it just becomes a memory, which is fleeting. So I'm always trying to capture that moment of the build up, the anticipation, and then you throw a big party and everybody gets to look at the printed zine together and really just like ingest it in a way that matters.
I feel like the kink community especially is a lot more tight-knit than like other areas of the industry. There's a lot more camaraderie, I feel like. It's not always work, you know what I mean? It's like, I think there's a difference between the kink community and like the sex work community, you know, and there's obviously like a ton of overlap. Like a lot of people in the kink spaces are also sex workers, but not everyone that's even a kink worker is a lifestyle fetishist or lives a DS dynamic, you know? And so I'm curious like how you see that distinction.
It has been really funny. That distinction is so on point. I feel like there is a lot of, maybe competition is not the right word, but competition among sex workers and people who are career sex workers versus people who are lifestyle sex workers.
Okay, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's your bread and butter. That's your rent. That's your food on your table. And then when it's your lifestyle, you get to participate in it when you can or when you want to. And it is a sense of community and a sense of trust. And that trust is hard work. Because there's people who aren't always great. And parsing through troves of people to find your people is what really matters. And that's cherished once you get it.
Yeah, it's so interesting because, you know, what you're saying about trust, I feel like that is the cornerstone of the kink community. And and I think that it fetish and kink, I think, lends itself to community building because of what you're saying, where it's like, there's a lot of dangerous people out there, you know,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people who are misinformed. There's a lot of people who are frankly just like toxic and have very complicated relationships to power exchange and etc. Having a community is a way for people to collectively sort of weed out the bad seeds, right? So that you can all protect each other. Like someone has a bad experience and they're not welcomed back into these communities, or, you know, depending on the experience, they're either held accountable and there's, you know, a process of like earning that trust back in the right circumstances, right?
Sure.
But in general, I think that it's a beautiful thing that it's not just like everyone's out for themselves, you know, in just like a random vanilla dating scene. And you could be dating a predator and you have no idea, because it's not like, you know, OkCupid has like a support group for scorned lovers, right? If only.
It's still really hard though, and it is so complicated because, you know, I believe in, you know, reformative justice and that people can change. But there has to be the desire to want to change once you've been called out or corrected.
Yeah.
Because the ways that we interact with each other are so nuanced that there might be a power dynamic that you don't even recognize. It might be something that you've been doing wrong your entire life and praised for. And then when you do it in another circle, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, totally.
And it could be something that, you know, I don't believe in good and evil. I really do think that it's all circumstantial and that we're all capable of all things. But in the kink community, it's the examination of it that's taking place constantly.
Yeah.
We don't take anything for granted. And we're constantly doing the hard work and having the hard conversations that allow us to do things like, you know, I'll call up a friend of a friend and be like, hey, I think you're hot. Can I take some nudes of you for my magazine?
Yeah.
And show up for lunch on a Tuesday and, you know, get to know them and take nudes because it's that level of trust that's been established within the community.
Totally.
And I think that that's really something special. It's really a lucky place to be, but it's earned.
What would you say would be the line between, like, you know, this person is redeemable and we want to help them, sort of like they do something wrong, something happens, you know, someone might be hurt. How does that, like, what does that process look like between deciding this person is someone we're going to work with and help, or this person's got to go?
Oh, that's a big,
It's case
hard
by case,
question.
I'm
It is
sure.
case by case. But even like in the kink community this past year, there was a big falling out with somebody who was very ingrained in all of our lives. And, you know, somebody who's like in hot stuff. And I think that the answer to your question from my perspective is the recognition that they have done something wrong. It's not defensiveness. It's not, I am apologizing because you want to hear me say sorry. It's an earnest desire for change. And people who have been in the scene, you know, of course we all want to not be seen as the bad guy.
Yeah.
But once it is pointed out that you're doing something that's not okay within your community, you have to really stop and take a hard look at yourself and say, like, what have I done here that I should be doing different? And if you want to change, you will. Classic axiom, if you wanted to, you would. And the hard truth is that people that do fucked up shit sometimes don't want to change. It's so nuanced. But it's just the fact that we're having these conversations. We're doing these things so constantly. It's hard. It's like heartbreaking to know that there's people who have been harmed and people who also have done harm and then are like either ostracized or you know, held accountable in ways like that sticks with you. It changes people and it changes community. It sends ruptures through everything we're doing and it's never easy. But again, it's just the fact that like we're doing that work and creating that trust and being consistent that I think is really the crux of it.
Yeah, and hopefully it doesn't happen that often either. You know?
Oh yeah, it's not like every other day someone's getting exiled or canceled,
Totally.
but it happens.
Yeah. Does it make you, or you, by you I mean sort of your community at large, like, does it make you guys more hesitant to bring new people in when that happens?
To be honest, that's not really a question that I would be the best to answer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I gatekeep like fucking crazy.
Okay.
I don't vouch for people.
Yeah.
I don't bring people in. If you want an opinion on someone, you're not going to get it from me.
Okay.
Because I think that I'm just a part of a community and not somebody.
You're the spokesman. Yeah.
I'm not the spokesman, and I'm not the person who's going to. I don't want to be responsible for anyone else other than myself. I think that that's a big part of this too, is that everyone is responsible for themselves.
Yeah.
Once I start bringing people ask me all the time, oh, how do I get into your sex parties? If you have to ask,
You don't.
then you don't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of shitty because I do love meeting people and bringing people in. I'm an extrovert. I love people. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I am not the person who's going to be guiding you through.
You're not a tour guide.
Yeah. I mean, if serendipity happens and, there have been people that I've brought in, just like naturally you find yourself in my circle at a certain time. But I don't know, bringing people in is hard for me. But I feel like as a whole, the kink community, the sex positive world is very welcoming. Hot stuff is very welcoming.
Yeah.
Like, hot stuff, on the first line on the Instagram, it says, you belong here.
Totally.
It's an open door, but TJ Vance is not an open door.
Yeah. And I think there's a difference there, right? Like, I think that there should be a boundary between this platform you're creating for the community and for like-minded individuals and your personal intimate spaces. Mm-hmm. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing problematic about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious though, like when it does come to hot stuff, I'm assuming you take certain submissions occasionally?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
It depends on the kind of submission.
Yeah.
Hot stuff exclusively is new content.
Okay.
So if you want to submit something that's been in another magazine or seen the light of day on Instagram, the answer is just no.
Okay, got it.
If you want to create something for hot stuff, the answer is usually yes.
Okay, cool.
If you want to collaborate on something, if you want to imagine something together, the answer is yes. One of my favorite things to do is people hit me up and want to do submissions, and I tell them that, and they're like, oh, well, I'm halfway across the country, or like I'm in Canada or something, and I'm like, I'll mail you a disposable camera.
Totally.
You mail it back to me, and I'll develop it, and I'll put that spread in hot stuff.
Totally.
And it has worked out so well. It's so fun.
It's so fun. I know. I've mailed out my Polaroid. Like, I'll mail one of my Polaroids with a roll of film.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, shoot this roll, send us the camera and the photos back, and we'll publish it. And
that's the way.
It's always been really, really cool. Yeah, because I guess I'm just curious if you've had a moment where you've gotten images back and maybe there's some ethical line that they cross. Because, you print some pretty heavy kink material that
hardcore.
is hardcore, and it's rare to see some of the things that you print. And I'm curious, have you ever received something where you're like, oh, this crosses the line a little too far?
No, there is no line for me. I'm always down to spread my own comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'm always down to print any fucking thing.
Yeah. As long as it's consensual material.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, certain caveats.
Ethically sourced.
Yeah.
And for sure, it's it's a collaboration. So the only time that I've ever left something out is if we collaborate on something. And the way that I do it is, I'll reach out to you. I'll be like, I think you're hot, or I have this idea that I want to do. I'll take all the photos. I'll buy you dinner. And then at the end of the day, all the photos are yours to do whatever you want with. And I'll take the 2 money shots and put them on a page.
Totally.
Every now and then, though, it's people just don't like the photos, or they're like, this isn't flattering in the way that I wanted to, or totally. I'm having second thoughts about this being in print, So I have to be okay, whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But there is no line. If you are inspired to collaborate and contribute something to hot stuff, I want it to be extreme. I want it to be raunchy. Mm-hmm. I want it to push the envelope. And honestly, I look at it more like just documenting real life than creating. things.
Okay.
I'm not creating these scenes.
Yeah,
This is a scene that you're.
Scenes happening.
This is a scene that you're gonna do. You're getting needles put through your dick, or you're getting bloodlet, or you're getting tied up from the ceiling and beaten till you cry. You know, and this is like what people are doing of their own volition.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's beautiful, and I want to capture it, and I want to showcase it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want people to, if I can be on the furthest end of the spectrum of sexual acceptance, maybe it might bring everyone more to the middle.
Totally. No, I definitely see that. And it's interesting because I've done a couple of shoots for PM. One in particular I'm thinking about that I'm actually re-releasing this summer, which I'm really excited. Yeah? It's a really good one. You probably know the
By the way, the whole fear issue was like...
That was
hardcore.
That was as hardcore as we've ever done it.
I was flipping through it and I was like, this is
the Odette
this is the stuff right here.
Yeah. The Odette stuff was definitely, well, I wanted to scare people. I wanted it to be, I wanted you to have a little jump scare. Like how can I make a horror film on paper?
That's what I'm doing for the next issue. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's Hot Stuff 666.
Okay, slay. That's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Dream.
And it's almost always film, right?
Yeah, exclusively film.
You never publish anything digital?
No.
That's amazing. I love that.
Well, it's because I print everything on just like a shitty printer.
Yeah, so it's going to look better.
If you print it on, it's like printing something from a web page with an inkjet. It just looks like shit. So the cheat code was shoot everything in film, print it on a shitty printer. Yeah. It looks like $1 million.
Yeah. You know, I've been on set a few times where, and like I said, particularly this one time where, you know, we're leaning more in like the fashion editorial space in Petit Mort. And so we're shooting these scenes that are, you know, alluding to a kink scene or presenting, you know, it's definitely like the fashion version of an erotic situation. But sometimes when we're shooting doms, like we'll have a sub and like I try to make sure that the person that we're shooting with is a sub so that if there is like we can actually depict the power dynamic and totally. You know there's a certain comfort in kind of entering that space, and we might not do anything crazy, but there's a baseline of trust, right? And trust also as a producer that like I'm not putting someone that doesn't know what they're getting themselves into in a scene, because even if it's just performative, it can be scary for some people, right?
For sure, it can be dangerous.
It can absolutely, yeah. And
setting.
Yeah, 100%. And so this time we had a sub, we had a dom, pretty well known dom from New York, and like the energy in the room just started evolving into like it kind of turning into like a full-on scene. Like she's like hitting him with the violet wand and like the bullwhip comes out and like fully like it was full on, and like I'm standing there as a photographer like I just hope everyone's having a good time because this is making for incredible content.
Sounded like they fucking were.
Yeah, and like and they were so into it, and but hearing you talk about hot stuff, I'm like, wait, none of this is staged. Like these are all real scenes that people are doing. It's not just like, oh, we're doing this for the photo. It's people is documenting real experiences.
For sure. Well, it is to a certain extent staged.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it is a reflection of something that I've seen at a dungeon or at a party.
Okay.
And then pushed to 10.
Okay.
For film.
Okay.
So a lot of times it's just me, and I just shoot on like a little point and shoot camera. Mm-hmm. So I'm really like non-obtrusive in the spaces that I'm in. So it might be at like an orgy or a kink party where I'll capture something that's natural and just happening in real life. But for the larger spreads, they are scenes. So it'll be people that do this for fun and do this as a lifestyle already.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, let's get a studio space. Let's do that thing that you were talking about doing, and I'll shoot it.
Okay.
So, like...
But I'm sure the camera, like, adds another layer to the scene and adds a sort of feeling of, like, exhibitionism that just adds to the experience.
We're all feeding off each other's energy,
yeah.
But I try my best to just be the fly on the wall. Okay. I tell everybody, I'm not here to direct you. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to say, wouldn't it be fun if we did X, Y, and Z, and then you do the thing, and I'm going to stand in the corner and get the money shot.
Totally.
And all I want is that one money shot, that one moment where it's like, the final shape in the suspension is complete, or they finally break down and cry, or, you know, the blood starts running down their face when the needles come out, or something like that, you know? But yeah, it's all just collective imagination. Because we're all talking about this shit. You know, I'll be at a party and they'll be like, hey, I have this idea for hot stuff. And I'll be like, that's great. Can we do it at your house? Yeah, it just kind of comes together in this natural way. But a lot of it is staged in the way that it's planned. But it is.
But like
we're
most kink scenes are essentially sort of staged and planned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a kink setting, it's called a scene. Like
exactly.
If I were to have someone that I wanted to tie with, you know, I would tie them up, untie them, we'd have a hug and a talk, and that would be a scene.
Yeah.
So it really is just capturing scenes. So it's a lot of the same terminology, but it's not staged. There's no special effects. There's no editing of any of the photos.
Yeah, but there's I think what I more meant was like there's no simulation, because like for Petit Mort, like in some of our tutorials, and I don't have any shame in saying that, like certain things are simulated, you know.
Yeah, it's just a different vibe. Like when I first, it was so funny because it was this 1-2 punch of I went to the Jimmy DeSana exhibit, and then I went to the bookstore and I saw Petit Mort. And I was like, oh, wait. Like, I legitimately thought that I was, like, the only person doing this.
Oh, wow.
For, like, a hot minute.
This is before we met?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, like, I saw that Dirty Mag was doing a little, like, office party.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God, they have an office. And I knew who you were. And I just showed up at the office. And I was
Is that the first time you met Ripley, too?
Yeah.
Wait, that's crazy.
Oh, wait, no. Well, I mean, we go way back from, like, different part of life. But,
okay.
Because I'm from New York too, so we went essentially the same high school area.
I was gonna say, I was like,
but that was the first time that I met Rip in that setting, because I was like, I just started a Dirty magazine and I showed up. I was like so nervous to like, I was like, I'm in the same room as the editors-in-chief of Petit Mort and Dirty Mag with my little dinky punk rock scene.
Stop it! That's so sweet.
It's just a different aesthetic, and I really look up to and try to emulate that like really polished vibe and that like really just like art of storytelling that you're able to do.
Thank you. That's really
that
cool.
like conveys the end goal without actually going there. It leads so much to the imagination.
Yeah, that was always the goal, was like when I started out, I was like, I wanted to make a sex worker owned Playboy, if you will.
Nailed it.
Well, but then I was like, I don't know that I actually personally want to profit off of other people's sexuality. What I want to do is like expand people's ideas of who sex workers are, what we're capable of, and like the artistry and like philosophy behind the work that we do. And I was like, and especially like we started right around the time that like OnlyFans was blowing up. And I was like, there's no way to really compete with what's about to happen. And I wanted to, you know, the creator industry is not perfect, but I wanted to support the idea that people were making their own money, you know, and funneling like and having a direct channel to the creator. And so I didn't really feel comfortable like publishing a ton of smut. And like in Petit Mort, yes, there is occasionally, and especially in the fear issue, there is a couple graphic things, although they're sort of taken out of context in a way where you don't always know what you're looking at.
Love it.
But like I made the conscious choice to like not make jack off material, because I was like, I just want you guys, like if you're gonna jack off, like I don't want you to pay me to jack off to someone else. You should be paying them, you know?
I think about it the same way. I would love to hear that somebody jacked off to hot stuff, but I kind of feel like nobody does.
That was kind of what I was trying to get to with my question about like physical porn. Like, do you think people are jacking off? Because like
I fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Like it's.
When was the last time you jacked off to a photograph, like a static image?
Oh God. Oh well, you know what? Actually, like pretty recently, I look at like vanilla fucking like regular. You're like
porn. Flipping through the Victoria's Secret catalog, like no, that's your dirty secret.
Like, I'll just like. I don't know. I'll just scroll through like the Pornhub like photos.
You just do the photos?
It was recently I did, because there was like I watched some porn and I was like, oh my God, this is the most gorgeous porn star I've like ever seen. I just had to look her up and like was looking at stills of her, and I totally just jacked off to that. It was great.
That's so funny. When I was, I literally didn't start watching actual porn until like until after I was doing sex work, until like my
Whoa,
mid-20s.
no way.
No, literally, I would always do the little GIFs on Tumblr. And like
those are enough,
and when I
too.
tell you, like, they took that down off Tumblr like years ago, and like I still found a way. And like it wasn't up until like relatively recently that I like that like they fully got to like every last one. And
it's gone forever.
It's actually gone now. And yeah.
Your Twitter gooning will last as long as these physical copies of Hot Stuff in your memory.
Literally.
It's there forever.
I can't remember the last time I jacked off to an image, but like I think that I did a lot of like analog work in my time, where I was like, it was like there was no image, there was no porn, it was all fantasy and fingers, not even machines in the room. Can you believe that?
Yeah. But yeah, I wonder, like, do people jack off to
I guess guys
print? Like, do
don't
people
use
jack off to
machines.
Playboy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I'm saying yeah, like people don't
Yeah,
jack
I
off to
don't- I
Playboy.
don't
Yeah,
know.
no, I don't think people jack off to static images. Although I don't know, I feel like people buy images on content sites. Like I don't know if they're jacking off to like magazines, but like they will buy images of feet and like
There's some pretty raunchy magazines, too. Like, if you like watching porn, you can have a magazine of that porn. But I feel like that's different. That's different media, too. It's like
Yeah.
you're basically buying the, like, slower DVD or VHS version.
Totally. Yeah,
on
well,
print, but-
Hustlers come with a DVD now.
That's awesome.
They kind of have to, I feel
I didn't
like.
know.
Anyway, very roundabout point, but what I wanted to say, talking about all these editorials and the scenes and stuff, and you're so kind to say that about Petit Mort and it's sort of polished, but really, my original goal was to make a magazine that looked almost exactly like Hot Stuff. Like not as kink necessarily, like obviously including kink, but not fully. But I had picked up like a 1950s, like what I was talking about earlier, a 1950s staple bound 5x8.
Yeah, the original
Like pinup little books, and it
Yeah.
wasn't explicit at all. It was literally like women
Like Betty Page.
by a river, like lifting up their dress. You know what I mean? And you could like see their leg, or like like the craziest one was like a bullet bra and a girdle. You know what I mean?
That's hot. I think that it's just as hot to be wearing a really nice outfit and showing a little bit of leg.
Yeah.
The suggestion
Totally.
is what's hot about it.
Totally. But yeah, like I was like, I want to do this. I was like, I want to do a punk rock like zine for the girls in the industry where we can like publish all of our photos that are eventually going to get taken down or shadow banned, and just have something that like is a physical, memento of how hot we were, and that we existed and that we were a community at this time, and that idea sort of snowballed into like, let's become the Vogue of sex work. And it was a decision that I don't regret necessarily, but I do, if I could turn the clocks back, I think I would have started with a Hot Stuff style zine, like a Xeroxed punk rock DIY moment, and then worked my way up to the matte paper printed in Italy, because that was a very expensive choice I made.
Oh, I bet. I mean, it's really funny though, because like you're saying that, and I would argue that you did do that because you've put out twice as many copies of Hot Stuff in the time it took me to put out 5. So you're literally putting out the luxe version of you and the community being hot and documenting yourselves. It just happens to be in a really, really nice format.
Well, to be fair, like, I think that so much of my sort of like publishing philosophy and like my design sensibility also came from being a high-end escort for so many years. And the reality is like a lot of the expensive, classy sex workers in New York are really just like dirty little raccoons in their spare time. And like, and there's a thing we called class drag in the industry, where it's like a lot of the times like you have to sort of or over time you sort of learn how to edit your image and kind of present things in a certain way that make things feel more expensive or more exclusive or more luxe. You know, like luxury has certain codes to it, right? And I think that like coming from that world and coming from being a starving artist to pretending I'm some like, you know, very expensive woman of mystery, which I was to be fair, like, but like that was a creative practice, and that was sort of like a journey to kind of carve out that persona. And I think everything I learned about creating that person was what I applied to creating a magazine. And I think that there was also a part of me that I was operating with a lot of like respectability politics in the back of my mind of like, people will listen to us like if I make this feel legit. Like the more legit I make this look like, the more seriously they're going to take us. And that was really important to me because I wanted these magazines to get into civilian homes. I almost wanted to like, and I still do, like I kind of want to trick the reader into picking it up and being like, oh, this is, coffee, ooh, fashion, like beautiful. And then you flip through it and it still sort of feels like just like fashion and vibes, you know? And then you read the articles and you're like, oh shit, you know, like there's new ideas, there's fresh perspectives in here that maybe I haven't thought about. And I think that was really important to me. And so there, like, yes, you know, there is a little bit of like a manic perfectionist in me, but there's also like an intention behind that. And I think that it feels just as intentional, the magazine that you're making, which does come from your punk rock roots and wants to be anti-establishment and isn't looking to be massively distributed. And it's really for the people that get it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the people that can find it.
For sure. I mean, it's by community for community. I've only printed like 250 copies of each because printing is fucking expensive.
Those are pretty good numbers.
No,
those
for
aren't
sure.
bad.
So I do it all. I mean, every time I come up with an issue, I need to have a party. There has to be a party.
A community
The zine is an excuse to throw a party. So for me, I want to bring together everyone in the community. I want bands. I want burlesque. I want people doing scenes, like kink scenes on stage. I want everyone to show up and just be together and enjoy it. I want to be, I just love throwing parties.
Yeah.
So the vast majority of the zines that I sell are at the party.
Okay.
So, you know, consistently I've had like 300 people come to these parties.
Incredible. I hope you know how huge that is.
I mean, it takes about a year
but like
to conceptualize and put this together and bring everyone together to get like the band
300
together.
people is huge though, like especially for an indie zine. Like so many brands would fucking kill to be able to get 300 people in a physical space together.
Yeah, but that's the thing, they're brands.
No, well, right, exactly, but like many, you know, projects, you know.
Oh, for sure. But brands are just gonna make a flyer, get a headliner.
Brand isn't a community.
And try to call it a day. I'm bringing, I mean, at these parties that have 300 people, 30 of them are putting on a show. Yeah. So if it's literally 30 people that each bring 10 people.
Right.
And that's your 300.
Yeah.
And it explodes naturally in that way. And then I get to sell 150 copies of a zine. And then the rest sit in a box under my bed that never gets sold, so.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will, please. And these are really rare books that are going to be worth a lot of money one day. Like, you know, Ripley is a huge fan of Project X magazine, which, like, I am also, too, now. Michael Ailig's Club Kid magazine from the 90s.
Okay, I don't even know it. More to read. There's infinite amazing porn out there to read.
Yeah, well, this isn't porn. This is just like, this was like a magazine just like made by like the limelight club kids of the 90s. And but they had some bigger people on the cover. Like there's a few. There's one with like Liv Tyler, and anyway.
Whoa, cool.
I digress. You go on eBay to find one of these magazines, and like there's some that cost like up to like $2,000 online.
Yeah.
And so I don't think people realize that it's like this physical media is worth so much.
It runs out.
And it runs out. People die. You know what I mean? Like, God willing, my hard drives stay safe, but like there might be a day where I physically cannot print another copy. I need to knock on wood.
Yeah, you better.
Stressful statement. Anyway. And these are really special things. They're time capsules, you know, they're archives, and I think they are really valuable. And so if you buy them directly from us now, that's essentially an investment for your future. So speaking of you and Ripley growing up together, adjacent, growing up parallel to each other in New York.
On the same avenue.
Yeah. So like, tell me a little bit about how you see New York change. Like, I know that you guys are, I mean, we're all about the same age, and I think we're a little bit past the time of the blue movies in Times Square and all of that. Mm-hmm. But there's always been like an erotic culture in New York. I think New York's always been a very sexy place, you know, and very, obviously it's very sexualized in media. And I'm curious like how you've seen that sort of like the erotic landscape of the city change.
I think that it definitely has changed with media, social media, most importantly. I mean, we all grew up in a time where, you know, we didn't have cell phones, and then we got cell phones, and then we got MySpace, and then we got Facebook, and then we got Instagram. And that progression has really just made it, again, all like so easy to access and so easy to digest. But I think that a lot of people have lost track of the actual tactile parts of it. That you can go online and get anything you want at your fingertips, but you don't have to work for it.
Yeah.
So again, I got really lucky just like finding the community that I fell in with, but it took work. I didn't just jump in and be like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
It took a long time of like getting to know new friends and showing up and being consistent. And I feel like in the grander scheme of things, honestly too, I was like a late bloomer. Yeah. I was like the last in my friend group to lose his virginity. Aww. I like got into sex later.
I wouldn't guess that. Like that wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, you could. I feel like you could be a little shy, maybe.
I can be shy for sure.
Yeah, but like otherwise, I'm like that surprises me a little bit.
Yeah. Well.
Interesting.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
But in terms of my interaction with the erotic side of the city, I was like kind of romanticized it when I was growing up. I thought I had this skewed idea of what being a sexual person in New York should be like. It's like sleeping with a lot of women.
And you're like,
going
why
to
isn't it
big
happening
sex
for
parties.
me? Like, what's
right.
going on?
And like kind of the Hollywoodization of the New York sex scene is like not the way it is, and it's a little toxic. Like, I had this big overblown idea of what sex in New York would be like, but then when I found myself in it, I found that it was just like really, it just like fit like a glove. It really just like, it's my sexuality, not the sexuality of the city. So I feel like the tactile porn, the community base of it, the like going away from quick, easy satisfaction and more of a thoughtful approach to what your sexual life and your connection is important. But conversely, to answer your question, I feel like everything's just getting too bite-sized, and we're losing, as a whole, we're losing track of the plot where we're supposed to be connecting with each other. Yeah. And it's becoming kind of just whitewashed in a way that doesn't feel so good anymore. So I'm doing everything that I can to push the envelope in the other direction.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I feel like you are part of maintaining the culture alive and creating, dare I say, a safe space.
Safer. There's no such thing as a safe space.
Yeah, a safer spaces, but cultivating these spaces for exploration, for curiosity, for genuine human connection, I think is so important. And I do think that every generation has a responsibility to sort of pick up the baton in whatever respective, niche you're in, and bring it and cultivate that space and foster, community and honor legacy, and I think that that's a really important thing. 100%. And I think that like creating these kinds of zines, I think our forefathers, foremothers, people would be really proud to see that their work inspired another generation, and that there's people really wanting to keep it alive, you know, and that it's still necessary, that there's still something really special about it, you know. And one thing I wanted to say too is hearing you talk about sort of being a late bloomer and then looking at kind of the stuff that you're publishing, like, I feel like kink is something that not everybody has access to, like, knowledge about. Like, kink education and awareness isn't always readily accessible to younger people, and I think it's very debatable, like, at what age is really healthy for young people to be exposed to any of this stuff. Although I would say that a lot of kink is not like getting hogtied and, like, you know, fireworks put up your butt. Like, a lot of kink can come from very mundane things, and often comes from sort of childhood experiences that are,
for sure,
can be sort of perverted by the human psyche. But I'm curious if it tracks for you the idea that, like, maybe your experiences came later in life because you weren't aware necessarily, or maybe didn't feel like you had the access to the type of sexuality that you were actually excited about. Because I think I've had friends that I think have, like, maybe they did have sexually, you know, experiences younger in life, but, like, they didn't really talk about it or feel moved by it until later when they found sort of kink communities.
Right. Well, that's a really good question. And I don't think that me being a late bloomer put me in this place of exploring and wanting more. I mean, I was a late bloomer, but I also, like, I lost my virginity to a sex worker in Amsterdam.
Amazing.
And I think that it is accessible, and I think that everyone should explore it.
Yeah.
I think that everyone who's curious about it should go pay somebody for sex and have them talk you through how consent works, how they want to be touched, how maybe you want to be touched, ask questions, talk about sex.
Yeah.
I think that it's really important to explore these things, because for most of my life in relationships and having sex, I wasn't looking at it through a critical lens. There's a lot that I've learned through finding kink and finding non-monogamy, and all in all, it's helped me question the things that I wasn't questioning before, that I took for granted, like monogamy and like desire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like finding kink was a real finding of myself. It was like an aha moment, like, oh God, I'm I'm not monogamous, you know, I'm into things that people maybe shouldn't be into.
Yeah.
And it was a really rough separation from that past version of myself and into this version that is trying new things.
Yeah.
And for me, like, creating hot stuff is a celebration of that, because if someone picks up a copy of Hot Stuff and sees something that the vast majority of people will be like, whoa, that's fucked up. But if somebody has, like, a little bit of a sexual awakening or questions something in themselves of, like, ooh, maybe I could be into a sub-dom relationship.
Totally.
Maybe I could be into getting tied up or hogtied or firecrackers being stuck in my ass. You know? There's the questioning, I think, is what's really important.
Yeah.
And what I'm always trying to encourage, because it was the questioning and the taking the chances and the finding myself that really kind of was the most beautiful part of all that.
Yeah. What do you think, like, was there a moment that, like, it kind of, like, things broke open for you?
There was, and I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, perfect. You don't have to. That's not anybody's business but yours.
Yeah, it was a big cracking open for sure.
Oh,
and
yeah, a big crack.
I lost a lot.
Open.
Yeah. It was a big cracking open. I understood exactly what I wanted to be doing with my life.
Yeah, fully. We love that. But yeah, no, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I think that's, like, I think it's true for so many things, and like you said, like, even just monogamy, like, I think a lot of people that maybe, like, don't find themselves in relationships and are like, why doesn't it really work for me? Or, like, I don't, or, like, they're just the type of person who's just never sought out a relationship, and their family's like, what's going on? Can you find somebody nice? And it's like, maybe what they want isn't what all of the scripts are selling. You know what I mean? And I think we're starting to get there with media a little bit, where there's like more, for lack of a better word, like unconventional dynamics being portrayed, but it's always missing a lot, you know?
It is. I think we're going backwards.
Okay.
With this current administration and all the puritanical shit that's going on, and Christians working their way into our government more and more. I think that we're moving in a more dangerous direction, and that people are accepting things that are very anti-freedom and anti-choice and anti-diversity. And that's why I'm going to push everything to the furthest end of the spectrum and say, hail Satan, stick firecrackers up your ass. You know, like, that's the stuff that we need to see more of. And sure, it's like, oh, there's a gay couple on Sex and the City. Or, you know, there's pride flags on the cop cars for Pride Week. That's been happening forever, and that's not enough.
Yeah, it's like, did you know how Pride started? Did you know the police's roles in the Stonewalls?
Yeah.
Are we forgetting history, you guys?
Yeah, history is being erased.
Yeah.
And so you need to look back to the elders and the 80s and the 70s and every decade and every counterculture revolution that led us here and emulate it.
But do you think that, like, the counterculture has gotten stronger, and, like, the communities that cultivate the counterculture have gotten stronger in response to the administration?
I think that resilience it's been necessary to be more resilient, but, like, they're fucking shit up. They're, like, they're pushing the dial way back. And sure, in places like New York City, you know, it feels like the counterculture is alive. We're fine
Muslim,
back.
my bagel's Jewish.
I mean, come on, we just saw the Knicks win the championships. Amazing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in the rest of the country, there's people who are fucking killing themselves and feeling alone and ostracized and don't know where to turn because there is no community. And the communities are being squashed.
Yeah.
And so it's up to us in our privileged position to give them a fucking stick while they're drowning.
Yeah. And I'm curious to hear what you think about this. Is for the first 5 years of Petit Mort, it was really important to me to really cultivate the community in New York, but now I feel like a really strong calling to try to bring people in that don't have access to any of these ideas or any of these communities in their, like, vicinity, you know? And whether that's, like, publishing poetry readings on YouTube or creating this podcast, or I'm trying to think of ways that can really call in the queer kid in Ohio who wants to stick firecrackers up his butt and feels like a freak, you know, and just wants to feel a little bit less alone, you know? And I think that the way that social media works and the shadow banning and everything, like, it feels like it's almost intentionally making it harder for people to find their weird, freaky communities. How do you connect to that idea, and do you want to reach those people, and how do you try to do that?
That's a really hard question because I don't know. You know, I'm very insulated by, you know, I'm from here. I've been here my whole life. What I know is what I know, and I hope. All I can do is hope that through just meeting people and extending your web as much as it can, like in a natural and, like, wholehearted way, that it's going to reach some of those people. I have had people in other states hit me up and be like, I want a copy of Hot Stuff because I saw, like, my friend of a friend is in it. And that's what I do it for. That, like, warms my heart. But I don't know. And I think that what I do personally in my day-to-day life is just, like, stay the course of doing what I'm doing and doing what I believe in, and just kind of trying to live my life out loud in a way that's unapologetic, because as soon as people stop apologizing and stop being scared, then we might reach some more people but it's rough out there.
Yeah. Well, I love what you said, and as you were talking, I was like, actually, you know what? I think you're doing exactly what you need to be doing, because I think that New York changes so much, and I think even just like the gentrification of every neighborhood and sort of like the sterilization of the city like can only go so far. And like, yes, it's important that we reach the lonely, you know, kids that want the firecrackers in their butt in Ohio, but like it's also
that's become the kink.
Fully.
That's what kink is.
Yeah, period. For anyone wondering. Like, yes, it's important to reach them, but I think it's equally important, if not more important, that like New York stays freaky. And that like because you know what, like a lot of these places in Bible Belt, in, you know, Dust Bowls, like it's harder to change those places than it is to keep New York as like a beacon for freedom and invite people to come here. And that's why there's so many kids from Ohio here who want firecrackers up their butt, and they come here specifically for that, for the possibility of that experience.
Yeah.
So I think that,
and you can find it here.
oh, 100%. And it might still take some time because, you know, there's no like, you know, peep shows in Midtown anymore, but there are little alcoves, and there are hot stuff parties and dirty mag parties and Petit Mort mag parties, and you can find your tribe there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, rapid fire. You ready?
Let's go.
Okay, leather or latex?
Leather or latex, Jesus. Both super hot. I gotta say leather, but not for the like BDSM kink leather reason, but for the like Judas Priest 80s heavy metal reason.
Valid.
Yeah.
Very valid. What do you prefer on yourself versus a partner?
Leather.
Okay, always.
For me, yeah,
leather.
I mean, latex, I don't own a single piece of latex. I tried one on once, and it just... I know that a lot of people love the sensation and the feeling of being, like, wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
But for me, it feels a little claustrophobic and, like, not the fun way, and, like, the sweaty way. So I'm just, like, a bike punk, so I'm always sweating on my bike. I don't want to be sweating in a rubber suit. It's hot as fuck, though. Like, sexy as shit.
Yeah. No, I love
people.
the look of latex. I do not want it on my body.
Yeah,
it's just, I'm prone to sweating. I'm very sensory sensitive. It's funny. I don't know that I'm like a leather fetishist, but I have always been obsessed with leather since I was a kid. And I do leather work, and I make things with leather. And
I still have your Labubu with the La bondage that you gave me, and he goes everywhere with me, and he's nice and dirty now. He looks like a little fucked up monster.
Little crust punk.
Oh yeah, he's a crust punk now.
Amazing. I actually have a few more pieces. I'll send you a couple more little pieces for him. I feel like he could use a new outfit.
Oh my god, incredible.
Yeah.
So leather all the way.
Amazing. I love leather, and I don't know. I don't know if latex could ever do it for me. Favorite decade of porn?
The 80s.
Yeah.
I think that America peaked in the 80s.
Yeah.
Here's some big hair, an Uzi, a big bag of cocaine.
Yeah.
And a like Wall Street job that
makes
you talk fast and act cool. But like the porn was also just like
incredible.
70s was great. I love a bush. And the bush lost the bush in the 80s.
Did the bush go away in the 80s?
People started drinking like flavorless martinis, and they
Zimas
shaved their
and
Zimas, and they shaved their bushes.
Yeah.
There was still a lot of bush,
they're
but
tweaking. They were tweaking.
The hair just moved. The hair migrated upwards. But I love the big hair kind of like VHS, like glossy 80s look. I love VHS, and I feel like the 80s was like the VHS decade.
Yeah.
And like porn from that era is just so hot.
Totally. No, it's the best.
And it was like kind of kinky too.
Oh, it was crazy. It was
really kinky.
It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a treasure trove for you to explore.
Anytime.
I might even be able to share my login.
Holy shit.
SuzerRandall.com or I think it's .com. I'll double check for you. I'll double check for you, and I'll put it in the show notes. Suze Randall was like the OG like pornographer, photographer for like Penthouse, Playboy, like all like Hustler, all of them. And
I learned something new or someone new every second that I spent with you.
So this website is like 20 years archive of like the most insane porn. Like there is like a porn from the 70s.
Whoa,
like
hot.
obviously they are no. Like obviously like they aren't. It
Like,
was so it's so camp
stuff
and
you would find
so
in Hot
fucked up.
Stuff.
Like honestly, like we should like you should maybe
Some
scour
recreations
this
and
and
stuff.
see if she would license you some of the some photos because there's some and it's crazy to see like the evolution of like the porn aesthetics over the ages. So
Yeah.
it was like, you know, it's like starts in the 70s and it's like the film quality is like really poor and it's like everyone has like a Ron Jeremy mustache, you
Yeah.
know, and then like into like the 80s with like the crazy hair and then the 90s and then you go into like the early 2000s. Like it's just so crazy and like the film stock changes, the wardrobe
Oh,
changes. You're gonna flip. Like if actually I'm gonna pull it up when we finish because
You must.
yeah, it's there's like too much content on there. Like it's like your brain
More
is
is
gonna
more.
yeah. You'll be jacking off to still photos. Like trust me.
Found my new format.
No, truly. Okay, wait, we were doing rapid fire. Wow, that was not rapid fire. Okay, what in your opinion is the most underrated fetish?
The most underrated fetish. I have two answers for that. In my personal practice, I gotta say it's feet.
Oh, okay.
Because I have like always been like, oh no, feet is like for the lesser man. Like foot fetishists or creeps and
I don't do
like
that kind of
I'm not
thing.
into feet. But it's totally cool to be into feet.
Yeah.
Cute feet are cute.
Yeah.
And like liking feet is great. And I think
Yeah.
that's like a nice gateway drug
Totally.
into the rest of the like really freaky shit that's out there. But the actual answer is like rope. I think that
There's so much you
with
can do with it.
one piece of rope and knowing how to just like the power exchange and the dynamic of just like tying somebody's hands together and then just like staring at them intently and like holding them and just being held.
Yeah. Oh,
And
it's
this-
powerful.
It's hot.
It's so powerful. I was tied once by William,
Oh my god, yeah.
like the best of the best.
yeah.
And
You had the creme de la creme.
yeah, I know. I'm really spoiled. And they're so amazing.
Yeah.
Truly just an all around incredible person and incredible experience.
I've got so much love for William.
And no, like
They're
shout
just-
out William from Temple. Like
Shout out William and Temple.
we fucking love you. I had published a piece that Vesper had written about doing a session with William and how profound that was and what an amazing top they were and how much care they put into the work. And so I knew already that I was in good hands and I knew that it was going to be an amazing experience. And I honestly, but I think I still was a little naive to like how special that was. And we just met up in their studio and we did a suspension.
Wow, for a first time.
I like to jump in on the deep end though. I'm typically that type of person where I typically like going a couple steps further and then really like getting a taste of what it could give and then really
Totally.
nailing the foundation, you know?
How are you gonna know if you really like it?
Yeah,
You're gonna jump
yeah.
in head first.
And it was incredible. Like I remember walking away from that and having like you know when you have like a really intense orgasm and you have like full body tingles afterwards.
Yeah.
It was like that without the orgasm. Like it was almost like a full body orgasm that like lasted for like maybe like a couple hours.
Yeah, rope is
after.
intense.
I
You can go.
had
in
no
any-
idea that was possible.
It's wild. And I don't think it's an underrated kink because I feel like it's one that everybody kind of wants to get into, but there's not a lot of people just jump right in like you and then don't really have that good of an experience. So
Yeah.
you lucked out with, getting tied by one of the best people in the New York scene.
I mean, to be fair,
but-
like, my job is to, source out and find the best people. So,
But for everybody else who just wants to, like, try it out, all you need is one piece of rope. You don't need to necessarily get suspended for the first time, but just, like, the kink that I think more people should, like, at least just dabble and try out. That's, like, that was the foundational kink that Hot Stuff was based off of, and my entire, like, kink journey is based off of.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people's, I think that it's, like you said, it's definitely very accessible.
Very.
But at the same time, I do feel the responsibility to say, like, rope seems super harmless and fun, but it can be very dangerous. You can cut off circulation. You can cause nerve damage. Like, yes, play with your friends, tie their hands, whatever. Don't tie it too tight. And, like, if you're going to do anything beyond that, take a class, go to temple, do a workshop. We are not sitting here condoning reckless behavior.
Definitely not.
What is your favorite unintentional piece of erotic media? Like, something that might be super mundane, but, like, you find super hot.
I don't know.
It could be, like, a random TV show or, like,
I
a
find
music video or...
It's so funny because, like, aesthetically, I can find hotness in everything.
Yeah.
But then, like, sexually, I'm actually really vanilla.
Totally. Yeah.
So things that I find unintentionally hot doesn't really happen. I find the, like, maybe, like, cartoons and comic books, like, just, like...
So raunchy.
Or, like, shapes.
A Pixar mom?
Yeah, oh, man, yeah. I like them tick, man. So, any, like, shapes, curves, like, I'll see, like, the quintet... Okay, actually, like, fruit.
Okay, yeah.
A particularly curvy piece of fruit.
Yes.
Or, like...
Most aren't as imaginative as you, honey.
Yeah, it's true. I'm here still jacking off to pictures and pieces of fruit.
Yeah, just peaches and watermelons. But this actually, going back to William, I was thinking of something that William and Dia were talking about. There's a difference between, like, a sex object or, like, a sex toy and, like, something that can, like, a pervertible object. Like a cucumber, for example. Very easily pervertible. I won't explain how. But, like, I feel like that's very much kind of where your head goes is, like, what... Yeah. Because I think that, like, media, even if it's, like, PG-13 or whatever, it is, like, there's a lot of stuff that's, like, just very obviously erotic, even if it's not, like, pornographic.
Right.
But it's really fun to sort of just see, like, household objects and be like, what could I do with this?
Well, the actual answer, though, it's clothes. Like, clothes are so infinitely pervertible. And this was a kink that was awakened in me by Bondageous and Thumper, like, rope couple of creators from Canada. They made an appearance in Hot Stuff too.
Okay.
And they have a whole class on just the perversion of clothing. And your clothing is a perfect vehicle for bondage. If you were to, like,
Totally, yeah.
pull somebody's pants down around their ankles, they can't walk. If you were to, like, pull somebody's shirt over their face and then, like, grab them by the throat. That's hot as shit. Like, and that's just, like, your everyday clothes.
Yeah.
Even, like, scarves. Scarf bondage from the 70s and 80s. So hot.
Okay, you're going to have to send me some links.
Clothing is infinitely pervertible. Even the most simple piece of mundane household clothing
can do
is
something.
So pervertible.
Yeah, that's funny because when you said that, my head did not go to, like, scarf bondage, but it went to, like, thinking how the most conservative clothes I think are, like, the naughtiest.
Yes, 1,000%.
I thought 100%.
Yeah,
like the librarian.
Like, unintentionally. Yeah.
The nun, the priest.
Of course.
Don't get me started on the nun and the priest. Okay, it's not that kind of show, you guys. Okay, second to last question. If Hot Stuff had a scent, what would it be?
If Hot Stuff had a scent, it would smell like a New York City dive bar bathroom where somebody has like just maybe fucked.
Okay.
So it smells like beer and piss
And jizz.
And cigarette smoke.
Yeah, and pheromones.
And pheromones.
Yeah,
it's
and
just
pussy.
like it smells like pussy.
Period.
It smells kind of gross, but you like it.
Yeah. Yeah, and leather.
Yeah, no, not even leather, more just like bodies.
Bodies.
Like skin.
Yeah, flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that like the beer soaked wood.
Yeah, that one. The beer yeah. Yeah, the sticky floor.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's what that stuff smells like.
That's the sound of Hot Stuff. Is that the boots on the combat boots on the sticky beer soiled floor?
Oh yeah, that's the smell.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
That's the stuff.
So, Hot Stuff 6. When can we expect it? What are we? What can we? Can you give us any teasers?
Hot Stuff 6. I've been working on Hot Stuff 6 since Hot Stuff 2.
Okay.
So there are pictures, there are shoots, some of the best shoots I've ever done that have been in some way like tied to a storyline or satanic or just like so good that I have had this idea in my head of Hot Stuff 6 being the big one or the last one. So it's coming eventually.
The last one.
Maybe the last one. I mean, it takes a lot out of
Yeah.
me and everyone involved to do it in this big way with a big party, and it's like upwards of 80 pages, and it's
It's no small feat.
There's no sponsors or ads or help coming any of our way.
Would you ever want that though?
But that would be the pivot. So after the last issue, it might become a more frequent, smaller version of itself with like an ad for a drink or something.
Okay.
But yeah, Hot Stuff 6 coming eventually. I think that it's safe to say that I can probably get it done within like a year from now.
Yeah.
It usually takes a year from like conception, from the moment the spark is lit that like we're fucking doing this to it being in people's hands. It usually takes a year.
Okay, but no pressure on deadlines.
No pressure.
I know that that's overwhelming, and you don't want to tell people anything that.
But then also there's a Hot Stuff Mini #2 is coming out.
Cute.
That's already been printed. So
is it mini like in dimensions or just in page count?
It's mini in dimension. So the first Hot Stuff Mini was just a 6-page single, the folded 8.5 by 11 folded zine. That one was really good and really fun. It has like erotica in the middle, and this one's going to be a totally new format.
Oh, okay. I think you showed us.
Yeah, I showed you a teaser.
We won't give it away.
So
it's
totally new zine format.
So
it's tiny. It fits in your pocket.
It's gonna be so cool.
And then we're also gonna start. So look out for Dr. Vance's Dumb Bitch Juice hitting a beach near you soon.
Okay.
So yeah, get at me if you know you know. And
getting those
there's
nuts
always
cracked.
there's always fun shit coming out.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm
this
obsessed
is
with you.
a dream
this
come true.
Was so sweet. And thank you for my amazing cocktail that I've been nursing off camera. I can't wait for your next party. I can't wait for your next zine. How do people get a copy?
Through Instagram. So at Hot Stuff Zine. Editor-in-chief's phone number, email address is right there.
Okay.
Call me, text me, email me, ask for a copy, and I'll mail it to you.
This is like the real OG shit right here, you guys. Like nobody is doing it like this. And if you want a little taste of history and how you would historically get access to this kind of reading material and experience it in your hands, this is really like authentic to the history of this entire industry. Really, this is zines like this is how it all started.
I try my best just to showcase people in it. I'm just the guy taking the pictures and printing them. It's the people inside of it that are the stars.
Yeah, well, you're a star for making it happen. You're always a star in my eyes.
You're too good to me.
Love you.
Love you.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
What a treat.
Yeah, of course. Maybe we'll do this again when Hot Stuff 6 comes out.
I'm down.
Period.